Welcome back everybody, thanks for joining me again. In this video I'm going to go over the reasons why you should train to become a welder, and if you stick around to the end I've got a little giveaway I'm doing on my Instagram. Firstly, what you need to know is welding isn't easy, and definitely not for someone who doesn't want to put in the hours in to become good at the trade. Basically, I've been welding for 12 years and I'm still trying to perfect my technique, and I'm always learning new ways to get better at welding. What type of welding is it that you'd like to train in? If you love to see sparks fly and don't mind getting your hands dirty, then in my opinion MIG is definitely the easiest to learn. But what is MIG welding? MIG stands for Metal Inert Gas Welding, and it is an arc welding process that uses a continuous solid wire electrode which is also heated by the arc and then fed into the weld pool from a welding gun. The two base materials are melted together to form a joint. The gun also feeds a shielding gas simultaneously with the electrode to help protect the weld pool from any airborne contaminants that might be around, especially oxygen, because that's never good for a weld. And if you don't mind getting hot slag on you at times, then you could try yourself out with MMA, also known as stick welding. I feel this takes a little longer to learn than MIG, but when done correctly it's just utter perfection, especially when the slag just falls right off. You also get the added surprise of the weld after you knock off the slag, just to see that you've done the perfect little stick run, and it's very nice to see, especially when you first start out and you've not been doing too great with it. But like everything, you're going to have to take your time and do it. But what is actual MMA welding? Before you say anything, no, you won't be going to weld MMA cages for day and night. MMA welding stands for manual metal arc welding, and it uses a consumable electrode covered in a flux to laser weld. Manual metal arc welding is also known as shielded metal arc welding, or you can just call it stick welding. I have saved the best until last because everybody knows that TIG welding is the best and most fun welding process to use. You can pretty much weld every metal that is weldable with it, and the results are amazing. You just have to put in the work in to get good at it. Same as everything, you can't just expect to pick up something on the first go. Some people can get pretty good on the first go, but definitely not to a professional standard. But you'll definitely get there as long as you keep on putting in the work and keep on testing yourself every single day. But what is TIG welding? Well, TIG welding uses a tungsten electrode to produce an arc which is contained within a shielding gas, typically argon, if that's what you're using. Some people use helium for, say, welding aluminium, but most of the time argon's used for most of its applications. TIG's unique as you do actually need to use both hands to control the TIG torch and filler metal at the same time. And just to spice things up, you can use a foot pedal. I don't personally use one, I just set my amps and away I go, but that's just the way I do it. And it does give you a very precise, accurate and a very, very good weld. It does usually take a little bit longer to make, say you're doing a 300mm weld. It will take you a lot longer than if you use MIG or stick welding, but that's just how it goes. If you want quality, it does sometimes take longer to get there. That's pretty much on the basic breakdown of the most common three types of welding. There is other methods, there's quite a lot of them actually. I think I'd like to say 25 to 30, I don't know the actual number, I can't even say I've looked it up, but you've got others such as flux core, plasma arc welding, friction welding, forge welding, thermit welding. There's so many to choose from, and they all have their unique ways in the industry. When I first started out, I started welding for a structural steel company, which I rarely got to use what I train to do today, which is TIG, but I did learn to get really good at MIG and stick welding too. And like I mentioned before, if you have to put the work in to get the results, it's definitely not for the faint-hearted person who thinks they can just cruise along thinking it's going to be okay. Everybody could do it, because when the test day comes, you're going to fail it, and it could leave you either paying for the extra time at a welding school or college, or actually losing the job because you're unable to produce the weld to the standards that your company want. I've had my ups and downs with welding. I've wanted to quit so many times. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've sent a practice piece flying across the workshop with my stick rod still stuck in it. Even today I have days when I'll stick my rods on touch my tungsten with my filler metal. It happens, but it isn't the end of the world. As long as you know how to put it right, then you're golden really. Since I first started though, I've not actually been to that many places. I've stayed pretty local. Some jobs can take you anywhere in the world. I saw a job the other day for a welder on a project in Antarctica. I reckon that would be a pretty cool one, but it's a bit cold for me. Plus 6 months away is a long time, especially if you've got a family. You could go off on the oil rigs, shipyards or aerospace. You could even get on a pipeline if you're good enough and you know how to get onto them. And you're willing to put in the work to get yourself there, because like I said, it's not the easiest thing to learn, but when you get good at it, it's a really, really, really good career to be in. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that welding's the right career path for you, but I can advise you and say, if you like working with your hands and are proud to put your name to something that if done wrong could severely endanger someone's life, then go ahead, give it a try. Just make sure you're ready to fail 100 times before you even get close to laying down one of these slickest welds you see on Instagram. I couldn't even count the amount of welds I've messed up in the past, especially when I first started, and they don't just stop when you're starting. Sometimes you have to do them, like when you're a professional, you already got your codings and everything else. Sometimes you do just accidentally mess up your weld, and that's no fault of anybody. It's probably your own fault for not paying close enough attention, but it happens. As long as you know how to fix it, put it right, then you're going to be good. What I actually really found funny is when you go out to site and you've got an old boy there, or someone not so old, maybe in his 40s, they turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I used to be a welder." "Oh, did you?" "Yeah." "Why aren't you anymore?" He's like, "Oh no, my eyes don't take it anymore. I can't see as good as I used to." Mate, you're about 40 years old. Why are you talking like this? And then they stand there and literally watch you do all your welding without a mask, fucking their eyes up. It just makes me laugh. I'm actually doing a giveaway on this video, and it's basically some little things from Stabila. There's a nice little Stabila level, some Stabila stickers, a measuring stick, and a pretty cool keychain. Stabila was nice enough to pass it my way, so I think it's only right that I can pass it on to somebody else. All you have to do is subscribe and comment on this video and share this video onto your Instagram story, but make sure you tag me in it, otherwise I won't see it. You can find the link to my Instagram in the description. Just want to say thank you for watching this video.